Good morning, YouTube, or whatever time of day it is for you out there. Could be the middle of the night for all I know. Today, we have a special video for you by subscriber request. We're gonna be making some pepper jelly, and not just any pepper jelly, ghost pepper jelly. If you saw in my previous video, I had a ton of ghost peppers on my plant, and frankly, I didn't know what I was gonna do with them. I thought I was gonna make powder, but I've already made powder this season, so when Cha-Cha requested that I make a pepper jelly video, I thought that was a great idea because I haven't made any this year. So, let's go to the kitchen. Garden first, then kitchen. And we're gonna make some jelly. And then we'll be back, and then we're gonna taste it. Okay, here we go. Here's my helper Bruce. And my ghost pepper plant right outside the door. Just pop my flip-flops on because it's hot. Just take a sneak peek here with the garden, still doing well. Alright, and I have a ton of fruits here on this plant. And I've already made powder this season, haven't made jelly yet, so when Cha-Cha requested that I make some jelly, I thought it was a perfect idea. So let me just cut a few of these off and we'll go back inside and start the jelly. So I pretty much cleared off the plant. I mean, there's some green ones there. We got some half-ripe one there. That's almost ripe. I think I got about, I don't know, 20. Let's go back inside and make some jelly. Alright everyone, so here are the ingredients. It's important to wash your peppers, even if they're just outside on your balcony. I have 17 ghost peppers here. I'm going to just cut out the main parts of the seeds kind of coarsely. I'm going to keep a little bit of the seeds and the veins in there because that's where all the oil is kept, and I still want to keep a little bit of the heat in the actual jelly. I cut the recipe I was using in half, and I have about 1.5 tablespoons of pectin. This is the low no-sugar pectin. Then I got 5/8 cup of apple cider vinegar, 1 cup of just plain sugar, and a half a cup of honey. And I'm going to be using 6 4-ounce jars here. I got an extra one if something happens, to put the jelly in. And I've already sterilized these. And to sterilize your jars, just put them in a water bath, kind of like that. That's when we use to process them later, but it's kind of dual purpose. It's sterilization and processing. So I put them in a rolling boil. Once the water started boiling hard, I put a timer on for 5 minutes and then took them out. And now I'm just letting them sit here and they're ready to be filled up. And then this is my little food processor that I'm going to chop up the ghost peppers with. And we're going to saute everything together up in this pan. And once it's all combined and boiling nicely, we're going to turn it off and then can them. And then I'll show you how to process them. All right, let's get to it. One other thing, don't forget to glove up. When dealing with hot peppers, it's really important because the oil will stay under your nails for days. And you know, you go like this to your eye, you pick your nose, you taste something, you're gonna be tasting hot for a while. So don't forget the gloves. And it also helps to pull out the stems and the veins. All right, not so bad. Used some gloves to cut these bad boys up. I kept some of the seeds and veins intact because I want this pepper jelly to be pretty hot. I want the heat to come through. Okay, so now we're gonna take this, and since I only have 2 hands, I'll let you visualize this. I'm going to put the peppers in the food processor, coarsely chop them up, and then we'll be back. Okay, peppers are in the food processor. We're gonna give it a couple of pumps. have to shake it. I shook it up and some of the fumes got out of that top. It's pretty potent. Let's see how we're doing. Oh yeah, that's pretty chopped. That's ready to roll. Alright, we're gonna get this started. So that we get all this pepper goodness out, I'm gonna put the apple cider vinegar directly into the food processor, then we're gonna put it into the pan. Oh yeah, there's some chunks in there that I'm gonna have to scoop out. So I got the heat cranking on high. See that? It's on high. And I'm gonna fish out some of these big pieces that didn't get chopped. What you're going to want to do is, as this gets going, you're going to want to gradually stir in the pectin. And the pectin is the thickening agent for the jelly. It's what makes jelly jelly. Oh, well, it makes jelly congeal. Stuff's already starting to cook and get in my face. So, as it starts to go, we're going to put a tiny bit of pectin in at a time. And the next big step is we're going to bring this to a boil, and we're going to not stop stirring it. We're going to continually stir it, and honestly, I got to turn on my fan because I'm starting to get gas out of here. So I'm going to have to put this down, and I'll come back and update you in a second. So we got a nice boil here. I got to go get my sugar and my honey. Got my sugar, dump it in there. My honey. So just gonna get all that going. I'm gonna stir it up and I'm gonna bring it back to a boil. See how that all gets combined nicely? That's the jelly right there. So once it starts boiling, we're gonna start the clock for 3 minutes. We're gonna continually stir for 3 minutes. Yeah. My nose is running. We don't even need to add any food coloring because look at how red this is. This is perfect. Turn up the heat a little bit if I can. Oh yeah, here's your rolling boil. Okay, we're gonna start the 3-minute clock right now. Now, you see how it's boiling when I'm still stirring it and it still keeps on boiling? That's exactly what you want. You don't want it to stop. This is what you want. Ooh, it's hot. And it's spicy. 1 minute down. 2 more minutes. 1 more minute to go. Good thing too, because my arm's getting tired. Alright, so in about 15 seconds, I'm going to turn off the heat, and then I'm going to ladle into these jars right here. And when you ladle the jelly into the jars, you want to leave about 1/4 of an inch of headspace. And yeah, and then I'll show you how to process it. But I only have 2 hands, so I'm going to turn this off while I ladle, and I'm going to show you the jelly in the jars. Well, as you can see, I clearly don't know how many ounces are in these little jars, so I miscalculated the recipe, and we're either gonna have the perfect pepper jelly or we're gonna have an overly sweet jelly. But either way, I think it's starting to congeal pretty well already. I've wiped the rims, I've wiped the seams of the jars, and we're gonna process these in some water now so we can seal them off. They should last about a year. So this is the finished product before processing them. What you want to do before you put the bands, this is what's called a band. You want to also just wash this in soap and water, and you also want to wash the lid off in soap and water. And you want to apply the lid and the band, you just pop it on the top of the jar, and then you screw it on just so it's hand tight, not super tight that you can't get it undone. And it's also going to get a firmer seal after we process it. So I've had this water kind of simmering for a while now, ever since I sterilized the jars, and you're supposed to have about 1 inch to 2 inches of room above the jars. So I think I have that. I'm gonna go get my tool to put these jars in that pot of water, and we'll process. So this handy tool is made by the same company who makes these jars, and it fits nicely just snugly right around the jar, and that way you don't get burned. Okay, and now I'm going to turn it up to a rolling boil and process these for 10 minutes. You can see that some of the air bubbles are coming out. That's good. Oh yeah, just another boil. So now those will lose all the air inside except, a little bit, and they'll be able to be stored for up to a year. And that's about it, guys. So after 10 minutes of a heavy boil, you turn off the heat and you let it go for another 5 minutes. And then you take them out and you let them cool, and we'll see if the jelly's set. Okay, so it's been 5 minutes. I'm gonna grab these guys out of the water and let them cool. Oh, I heard one pop. That means it's processing. So the instructions with these jars say that after 24 hours you're supposed to check. So I'll check if they're done in 24 hours. There goes another one. So we're back in the kitchen because we're gonna taste this stuff. It hasn't been quite 24 hours, but the jelly is set. It's not moving. And look at that. Yeah, you can see a little bit of the seeds floating around in there. And what's good about this recipe is the jelly set perfectly. So I've made jelly in the past where the seeds actually all just sunk to the bottom immediately, and you had to really stir it up, but the seeds are really evenly dispersed, so this should be pretty good. So to taste this, I put out some cheese and just some tortilla chips, and we'll see how it goes. All right, so let's take a look at what this is like. So it hasn't been 24 hours, but this is the top's completely set. You see that? You don't hear any clicking. So you know that this bad boy is good to go for up to a year, the canning instructions said. So in fact, the two of these, as you heard earlier, popped like immediately after I took them out of the preservation bath. So you don't really need 24 hours to cool or to set, I guess, but listen to this. It was on there tight. Smell that. You smelling it? No. Guess not yet. Maybe in the future. I'll get some smell-o-vision. Alright, so I'm gonna grab a little spoon here. And oh yeah, that's some tough jelly. So because I screwed up the instructions, whoops, I screwed up the instructions, I guess, a little bit, so this is pretty sugary, so we'll see. I'm going to toss it on this chip with a piece of cheddar cheese. I'll get on there. Alright, see that? pretty good. No food coloring either. That's just all ghost pepper. Kind of worried. I said I wanted this to be hot, so we'll see. No heat yet. A little bit. But really sweet. That's good. It's just the amount of heat I want. With ghost peppers? Oh yeah, that's coming. Oh, you see this little tear? Oh. No, that's good though. Yeah. That's what I wanted. So I'm gonna post exactly what I made. It's a little hot, so you might have to cut back a little bit or substitute some of the peppers out. But I'm gonna keep it as it is because mixed with the cheese and the sweetness of the jelly itself, it's not that bad. You know you ate a ghost pepper or something hot because it stays with you, but it's like a warm heat. It's not in your face, not in your mouth, not stabbing you in the mouth. All right, well, let's go sign off. Well, everyone, I hope you enjoyed my video on how to make hot pepper jelly out of ghost peppers. A couple of things, what did we learn today? Well, we learned that math is important, so you gotta stay in school so you can measure correctly. What else did we learn? Oh, remember to keep the camera or your phone horizontal so the whole video can be horizontal. Still my first couple videos, so still learning curve here. And 3. I think there's only 2 learning points in this video, so oh, I guess you could say get a tripod because I don't know how many times I said I only have 2 hands, and it would have been a whole lot easier to get this video shot. I hope you enjoyed it. Now you know what to do with some of the super hot peppers you have, other than prank your friends and relatives. There's endless amounts of possibilities. So, with that being said, if anyone else out there wants to see something done, let me know. Shoot me a comment down below, subscribe, and you'll be notified as soon as your video's up. So, I hope you enjoyed it, and I'm gonna post all of the ingredients down below and any of my tips and pointers from what I learned during this process. Remember, let's share and grow together. Thanks, guys.